Hello YouTube again, this is Axis 0096 to do a review, finally, I hope for this time it holds, of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Now, as most fans understand, this is the first franchise of Gundam we got in the United States of America. It had been on Japanese television for almost 5 years. The main pilots we all know so very well. Their backstories are very interesting. Hiro Yui's true name, of course, by most manga records, is Odin Lowe Jr., or Odin Lowe II, famed son of the famed assassin known throughout the Earth Sphere, Earth Sphere Alliance. Second pilot, Duo Maxwell, pilot of Gundam Death Scythe Hell Custom, not his real name, a pseudonym of Father Maxwell, who he stayed with during probably wars, meaning he was a war orphan, and a friend. His name was Solo Maxwell. Duo Solo, I believe. He took those pseudonyms and thus uses it as his alias. Gundam 3 pilot, Heavy Arms Kai. In other words, we know him as Troa Barton. In the manga, though, it distinctly calls him no name. However, we have many reports to consider knowing that he is Titus Bloom, but if you add his other surname, he could be Titus Bloom Kushranada, meaning that Marimea possibly is not even his niece. Possibly that is his younger sister. So Catherine Bloom is also Catherine Bloom Kushranada, and then you have Marimea, her mother being Lisa Barton. Thus her name is Marimea Barton Kushranada. Though they had different mothers, Marimea is Catherine and Troa's half-sister. That's an interesting wrinkle. Hopefully it's someday they exploit it. Gundam Unit 4. Katra Rababa winner, who despite a lot of people saying he was a test tube kid, he was not. He was the only child born to the noble Winner family, who through natural birth. All of his sisters were test tube babies. In other words, in vitro fertilization. His mother unfortunately died at a very young age, which, as we see in the series, affects him emotionally and psychologically, especially when he's hooked into the Zero system in episodes 24 through 25. He is really a tragic case. Maybe I'll go more into a background on each pilot sooner or later. Cross your fingers. And then we have pilot number 5. Pilot of Gundam Unit 5, Shenlong Gundam, and its upgrade, Ultron, or Ultron Nataku. Now, it should be known, he was not even to be the original pilot. Wu Fei Chang, in this case, was not intended to be the pilot of Gundam Shenlong at all. In fact, his wife, who a lot of fans will be like, he was married? Yes, he was married, and the person before was a very quiet bookworm. Surprise, surprise. The universe is a weird place. He named his Gundam Nataku to honor his late wife for her fierce determination in battle and her strength in combat. That is why it seems like he worships it. He's praying to his wife that he makes a successful mission most of the time. Little known fact there. And then we have the antagonists / questionable characters. On one side, we have the Saint Kingdom survivors. We know them as Relina Dorlin, her real name being Relina Peacecraft, and her older brother, Zex Marquise, known as also as the Lightning Count, his true name being Miliardo Peacecraft. In fact, his own name is a simile to his son he has, Milo Peacecraft, his eldest son, and Nania Peacecraft, his daughter, who's very much like her dad. Moving on, from Zex, who flat out is a char case, we'll put it that. Relina's is kind of unusual because her, I guess you could say, the Chamberlain of the Peacecraft monarchy was ordered by King Peacecraft at the end of the last war to take her and go into hiding. That is why Relina doesn't remember anything. She was too young to remember. Lucrezia Noin, who most people know as Lieutenant Noin, is Zex's pretty much, we can call, bona fide soon-to-be wife anyways. They have known each other going on 20 years, if not more than under 20 years, I'd say very close. They've served together to the point that, you know, it's a done deal. They're going to end up together one way or another. Those who watch Endless Waltz know very soon he's not going to argue with her. Moving on, we have the Sweeper group, consisting of everyone from Dr. J to, I believe it's Instructor W. The Doctors are the ones who created both the Tall Geese unit as well, or units, as well as the Mobile Suit Gundam known as Wing Gundam Zero. Now, every suit in this timeline is pretty similar to a GM in the UC, in that there's a prototype physical model that is then developed and refined into more specialized units to the pilot's parameters. I find that very interesting that even though this is a very not even resembling Gundam, it's much like the original timeline and how you have a prototype that's then somewhat limited produced, much like 8th MS Team's units off the original Gundam. That being said, the series has aged very well. Not as good as some because they're younger, but the series still has a very followable plot. I'll give that an A+. I also will give the music, let's be honest, it was our favorite early anime music, an A+. And then we have the story. It starts very slow, but then picks up. The start of it almost starts out like a C, but then it quickly works up to an A with lots of independent parts. A special note for people curious, Episode 0 was supposed to be somewhere between the Locust of Defeat episode, the Locust of the Battlefield, and the Glass Kingdom. That episode was supposed to have been episode 50, if you do the count right. However, due to production costs and limited interest, it was never produced. It is in manga. Some of the facts I've stated in this video are courtesy of the manga Episode 0, which is a prologue to the original Gundam Wing. Anyways, I will give the entire series a 10 out of 10, in other words, an A+. Anyways, this is Axis 0096 saying, I will survive.